I'm making this video today as an expression of gratitude. I hope you'll take a few moments to listen to the story I'm about to tell you, because I think it's a story that, while relevant to me, can resonate in the hearts and minds of anyone who's listening. And this is why I'm recording this today. A couple of days ago, I was on Facebook and I saw one of my friends had a post from another friend, and I recognized the name of the other friend, and I thought, oh, I didn't realize they knew each other. So I clicked on the other friend's name and there was no picture there. And so I scrolled down to look and saw some wonderful paintings from Dublin and from Ireland, beautiful paintings. And I thought, wow, these are amazing. Is this my friend who posted these? Did he take up painting? So I was intrigued, wanting to know, oh, wow, that's amazing. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Maybe he's getting into retirement and maybe he's taken up painting. I was really thrilled when I saw such beautiful artistry. And I thought he couldn't have been sitting on that talent. So I looked further and I sent a DM to this guy. I'll just say his name was Peter. And I sent a message to Peter. Peter, you're from Dublin. I'm wondering, do we know each other? I see we have mutual friends. Because I was thinking it was probably very unlikely that there would be two people of the same name in my friend group in Dublin. I'm living in London. I haven't been living in Dublin for many years. And basically, I look friends up when I go back home, and I haven't been there for a while because of COVID. So time had passed. And this was a former business colleague and friend of my heart from years ago. And I was just intrigued and thinking, oh, I want to look him up again and let's say hello. Anyway, long story short, I didn't get a reply initially. So I looked further to look for my friend. I went on to LinkedIn. I couldn't find him there either. I thought that's very weird. And so then I just put his name into Google. And what came up was his death notice from 2 years ago during COVID. 2 years ago. He left the body and I didn't know. And it had me reflect on the important roles we play in each other's lives. And we never know when we will last speak with the people we care about. You know, you can see behind me, I've written a book. I've spent a lot of my career dealing with some of these major life transitions and helping other people navigate their way through the end of life continuum. This book was actually the reason for my last communication with my friend Peter, because I sent him a copy of the link saying, I've written a book. I'd love you to look it up. In the busyness of life, I didn't get a reply. I didn't follow up. Normally, I would look him up when I was going back to Dublin, and I hadn't seen him in a little while. So that was just normal. So yeah, didn't think too much of it. I just took a moment, just really feeling the presence of the gift of his friendship. He was like an older brother to me, someone who cared about me, someone who shared his life with me, shared the stories of his life, the important people in his life. I met his wife. I visited his home. I was a business colleague of his. We did a training together. I knew about his children, met his children, and he used to always talk so proudly about his children. So while I was a work colleague and someone who I would look up each time I went home to say, hi, let's meet up and say hello, catch up, he would not have known how important his life was to me, because there are so many people that are in our lives that are maybe not in the central mix of life, but are very much dear to us and who leave an imprint in our hearts through their very presence, their very beingness. My friend Peter was a beautiful, gentle soul. Like me, he came from a large family. He had many stories about his family, as typical Irish families. But he was a witty man. He was very smart. He gave me opportunities. I did my business training with him in Dublin between the years of 2003 and 2006. And then we actually formed a small business ourselves, my first online presence, with a business in mind, body, and spirit for leaders, in guiding people in maintaining work-life balance and balance between the inner and outer aspects of ourselves. Life is busy. we get on with our lives. We go in different directions. I then went, I had another career singing opera. So I lived and worked in the United States. And, there'd be check-ins from now and then. But I knew nothing of what he was going through at that critical time when he was nearing the end of his life in the physical body. I knew nothing about it. And that feels strange. It feels strange to think that his funeral was 2 years ago, that his family went through all of that. There were restrictions in COVID, so only 50 people could attend the funeral. I couldn't have traveled in any case. I would have been there as a friend and as someone who cared about him and will always remember him with love and gratitude for the gift that he was in my life. That gift will continue to give. And that's in a way the legacy of who we are in our lives. Are you a gift for the people in your life? Can you live without regret? If someone departs from this life without a goodbye, this is why I wrote this book. Because I've witnessed so many people on that journey saying their final goodbyes at the departure gate of life, and very often dealing with severe illnesses that didn't allow them to get complete with life, to fulfill their dreams, to say their goodbyes, to deal with unfinished business. One of the things I witnessed was the number of broken relationships in people's lives, the number of angry words left floating in the history of relationship that leave a legacy of grief and blame and guilt and resentment and anger and unlovingness. I felt so passionately that I wanted people to live consciously because I learned those lessons. I'm blessed. I've no regrets with Peter. His life was simply a blessing to mine. And I'm really grateful for that. I wish his wife knew. I wish his daughters and friends knew who he was for me and for countless others who probably never got to tell their story because of these times in COVID. Many people had to say goodbye without a proper farewell, without being able to share what really happened and share the stories that make up the rich tapestry of our histories together in this journey of life. You could say life is like a train journey. You get on at one station and you don't know what station you're going to be told to get off. You don't know if you'll arrive at your final destination where you think you're going in this lifetime, because basically we are not in control. We live with the illusion of having control in our lives, but you can't even control your heartbeat. You can't even control your breath. What do we really control? We spend our lives trying to assume the semblance of control, just basically to avoid looking death in the face and realizing the gift of life, the present, of our presence in physical form. Nobody can guarantee any of us a tomorrow, but we have today. So I wanted to make this video to honor my friend. I will always remember him. I feel sadness for his daughters growing up without their father. He was a good man. He was a beautiful soul, and he blessed my life. And I invite you to look into your life, look at the people who matter to you, and make sure they know that they matter to you. And make sure you never go to sleep with words of anger still ringing in your ears, with resentments or hurts. Let go of everything that is not love. Let go of all judgments. Let go of all opinions. Let go of being right. Let go of proving your point, of making somebody else wrong. None of it matters. Really, all that matters is to be true to who we really are. And that is pure love on the inside. And to live in that truth, to live without regret, by conscious choice. The words we speak create a reality that we then have to live within. And not only do they create our reality, they create a reality for the people we communicate with. When you judge another, people can feel your judgments. It's like a wound to the soul because it is not the truth. All judgments come from the mind and its opinions and judgments will block our love from being expressed. So don't let the mind block your love in the relationships that matter to you. Never speak words of anger against another. We never know when the last time we will speak with the people we are communicating with will be. And we never know the impact of our lives in theirs. So what I would suggest is make your life be a gift for others. Make your presence in other people's lives be a gift, a divine gift of love. Anything else is a denial of your own self. Because the real truth is, there is no other. While we all wear different clothes, different faces, different bodies, different races, different beliefs, the essence of who we are is the same. This is just our worldly appearance. Look beyond that and look for divine love within. That is the truth of who we all are as eternal souls. We need to wake up from this unreality and plug ourselves back into our true nature, our divine power. And so, in leaving this video, I hope that it will be a gift for the legacy of my friend Peter. He would be smiling. He was self-deprecating. He had wonderful Irish wit and generosity of spirit. He was a family man. He was a business colleague. He was a friend. And he was a blessing for my life. Go in peace, Peter. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you'd like to look up my book, it literally is the gift of life for those who are ready to awaken to the truth of who we are. It's on Amazon. It's called Angelo della Vie, the Angel of Life. Let it be a gift for your life.